Today, I've got a bone to pick with some common dietary habits that could be doing more harm than good to your skeletal structure. Yes, you heard that right. Our bones, the very framework of our bodies, are under constant attack from some surprising food choices. Let's dive into the 12 shocking food mistakes that are slowly but surely destroying your bones. Buckle up and prepare to be amazed. 1. Excessive salt intake. Salt, or sodium chloride, is a staple in almost every kitchen. While it adds flavor to our meals, excessive salt intake can lead to a host of health problems, including bone loss. How, you ask? Well, a study published in the journal Osteoporosis International found that high sodium intake causes the body to excrete more calcium via urine. Calcium, as you know, is crucial for bone strength, so the more salt you consume, the more calcium you lose, leading to weakened bones. A study conducted by the University of Alberta found that for every 2,300 milligrams of sodium consumed, the body loses about 40 milligrams of calcium. The National Osteoporosis Foundation recommends limiting sodium intake to 2,300 milligrams per day to maintain bone health. Opt for herbs and spices to flavor your food instead of salt. Also try to check food labels for sodium content, especially in processed foods. 2. High sugar consumption. Sugar is another dietary villain when it comes to bone health. Consuming high amounts of sugar can interfere with calcium absorption, which is essential for maintaining strong bones. Moreover, sugary foods and drinks often replace healthier options in our diet, leading to deficiencies in essential nutrients. A study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that high sugar intake is associated with lower bone mineral density. Research from the University of Colorado showed that rats fed a high sugar diet had significantly lower bone density than those fed a normal diet. 3. Excessive caffeine. Many of us can't start our day without a cup of coffee. However, excessive caffeine intake can negatively impact bone health. Caffeine interferes with calcium absorption and increases calcium excretion through urine. The journal Osteoporosis International published a study showing that women who consumed more than 300 milligrams of caffeine per day had a higher risk of bone fractures. Another study from Creighton University found that caffeine consumption of more than 800 milligrams per day can lead to significant bone loss. Limit your caffeine intake to no more than 400 milligrams per day, about 4 cups of coffee. 4. Phosphoric acid in soft drinks. Soft drinks, especially colas, contain phosphoric acid, which has been linked to lower bone density. Phosphoric acid can interfere with calcium absorption and lead to an imbalance in the body's calcium to phosphorus ratio. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that women who consumed cola daily had lower bone mineral density than those who did not. Harvard Medical School researchers observed that the high phosphorus content in cola can lead to bone loss and an increased risk of fractures. 5. Low calcium intake. Calcium is the most critical mineral for bone health. A diet low in calcium can lead to weakened bones and an increased risk of fractures. The body needs a constant supply of calcium to maintain bone density and strength. The National Institutes of Health recommends a daily calcium intake of 1,000 milligrams for adults aged 19 to 50 and 1,200 milligrams for those over 50. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that postmenopausal women who took calcium supplements had a significantly lower risk of hip fractures. Try to include calcium-rich foods like dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified cereals in your diet, and consider calcium supplements if you struggle to meet your daily calcium requirements. 6. Vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption and bone health. Without adequate vitamin D, your body cannot effectively absorb calcium, leading to weakened bones. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that vitamin D deficiency is prevalent in individuals with osteoporosis. Research from the University of California showed that elderly individuals with low vitamin D levels had a higher risk of bone fractures. Try to spend time in the sunlight to help your body produce vitamin D, and include vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products in your diet. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. 7. Overconsumption of alcohol. Regularly consuming alcohol in excess can have detrimental effects on bone health. Alcohol interferes with the balance of calcium in the body and affects the production of bone-forming cells. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism states that chronic heavy drinking can lead to a decrease in bone density and an increased risk of fractures. A study in the journal Alcoholism, Clinical and Experimental Research found that alcohol abuse is associated with lower bone mass and higher fracture rates. 8. High-protein diets. While protein is essential for overall health, excessively high-protein diets can lead to calcium loss from bones. High-protein intake increases the body's production of acids, which need to be neutralized by calcium, leading to calcium being leached from bones. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high-protein intake, particularly from animal sources, is associated with increased calcium excretion and lower bone density. Harvard School of Public Health researchers observed that individuals on high-protein diets had an increased risk of bone fractures. Try to balance your protein intake with adequate calcium consumption, and opt for plant-based protein sources like beans, lentils, and tofu. 9. Oxalates in certain vegetables. While vegetables are generally healthy, some, like spinach and beet greens, contain oxalates that can bind to calcium and prevent its absorption. This can lead to lower calcium levels in the body, affecting bone health. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that oxalates can significantly reduce calcium absorption. A study from the University of Wisconsin showed that diets high in oxalates can lead to decreased bone mineral density over time. 10. Carbonated beverages. Carbonated beverages, including sparkling water, can lead to bone loss due to their acid content. These acids can increase calcium excretion and disrupt the balance of minerals in the body. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that women who consumed carbonated beverages had lower bone mineral density compared to those who did not. Research from Tufts University observed that regular consumption of carbonated beverages is linked to an increased risk of hip fractures in postmenopausal women. Try to limit your intake of carbonated beverages and choose still water or other non-carbonated, calcium-friendly beverages. 11. Excessive red meat. Red meat, while a good source of protein, can be harmful to bone health if consumed in excess. High red meat consumption can increase the body's acid load, leading to calcium being drawn from bones to neutralize the acid. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study showing that high red meat consumption is associated with increased bone resorption and lower bone mineral density. A study from the University of Adelaide found that diets high in red meat can lead to a decrease in bone density over time. You have to limit your red meat intake and opt for other protein sources like poultry, fish, and plant-based proteins. Also try to balance your diet with plenty of fruits and vegetables to maintain a healthy acid-base balance. 12. Inadequate magnesium intake. Magnesium is essential for bone health as it helps regulate calcium levels and is involved in bone formation. An inadequate intake of magnesium can lead to weaker bones and an increased risk of fractures. The Journal of Nutrition reported that individuals with higher magnesium intake had greater bone mineral density. Research from the University of Tennessee found that magnesium deficiency is linked to an increased risk of osteoporosis and bone fractures. Include magnesium-rich foods in your diet, such as nuts, seeds, whole grains, and green leafy vegetables. And consider magnesium supplements if you have difficulty meeting your daily requirements through diet alone. Maintaining strong and healthy bones is crucial for overall well-being and quality of life. By avoiding these 12 common food mistakes, you can protect your bones and reduce the risk of fractures and osteoporosis. Remember, a balanced diet that includes adequate amounts of calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, and other essential nutrients is key to keeping your bones in top shape. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.